This is the Booze and Bullshit Show. Now, I know I normally do a lot more philosophical and political issues, but my newsfeed has been going absolutely crazy over the episode last night of The Walking Dead. I am a fan, so I certainly have an opinion and wanted to make a video on it. If you're not into the show, then I'm not really sure why you clicked on this video. I mean, I know I got a sexy voice and all, but, come on. Anyways, just be warned that there will be a lot of spoilers from the show in this video, and if you haven't read the comics or aren't up to date with the show, I would recommend not watching the video until then. I will spoil things, and even though I'm giving you this warning, I know I'll get comments like, "Aw man, thanks for ruining the show for me." Well, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I've given you way more than enough warning about it. So that said, this video is called The Top 10 Reasons Why Glenn is Not Dead. So reason number 10, the writers gave themselves a way to explain how he survived by having Nicholas fall on top of Glenn. It can be very easily explained that it was Nicholas's body getting eaten, not Glenn's, and somehow after that, the crowd of zombies were driven away, leaving Glenn intact, or he could have crawled underneath the dumpster or whatever. There's a lot of different ways that they gave themselves ways out of it. Number 9. Glenn has been written many times to get out of impossible situations where we thought he was dead. Take the last season finale as an example. Glenn gets shot in the chest, then has a crowd of walkers fall on top of him. They cut away and he comes back without a scratch on him. So they have written scenarios like this before, indicating that he very may well be alive. Number 8. Talking Dead's coverage of Glenn's death was very ambiguous, using words like appears to, may have, etc. Number 7. Glenn was not mentioned in the In Memoriam section of Talking Dead, which has traditionally been an indicator if the character is really alive or dead. Same thing happened when the prisoner Andrew ran out into the field of walkers and you heard chomping. He was not shown in the In Memoriam and was later revealed to be alive. Number 6. In the past, every time a major character has been killed off, they have the actor come on Talking Dead to discuss their character arc and death scene. And oftentimes there will be a producer on the show to talk about it as well. Instead, this time Chris Hardwick said, "And I also want to mention no one is here from the Walking Dead cast or anyone from the show at all, because this is a really intense episode and we wanted to allow the fans to interpret it together. Don't want you to read anything into it why no one's here." Well, seeing as how that's very inconsistent, I don't really buy that reason. Number 5. The closest we got was Scott Gimple's message that says everything and nothing at the same time. He said, "Dear fans of The Walking Dead, this is a hard story to tell when we were planning to tell. We knew our friends at The Talking Dead would be talking to you about it, and knowing you'd all be talking and feeling and commiserating, I knew we should say something, lest our silence say something we didn't mean to say or not say. So I'll say this. In some way, we will see Glenn, some version of Glenn, or parts of Glenn again, either in flashback or the current story to help complete the story." Now, if that isn't a fucking mouthful of words, I don't know what the fuck is. But the ambiguous nature of this statement is inconsistent with previous character deaths on the show. After every character death, people will say, "Is so-and-so really dead?" And they'll answer yes. They'll also have the actor on Talking Dead to discuss it. It's very definitive that the person is dead, but this time they didn't do that. It was very ambiguous. So it leads me to believe that, hey, I don't think they're dead. So before I get to number 4, I just wanted to give everyone another warning that everything from now on is going to be very spoilery. And I don't really want to give reasons to how or why, because that in itself will be a spoiler. So if you do not want spoilers, stop the video right now. This is your last warning. Number 4. Hardcore fans of The Walking Dead will go to filming locations and take photos. There have been photos of Stephen Young, the actor who plays Glenn, working on scenes with actors. He's been in full costume, which indicates that he didn't die. Number 3. These same hardcore fans have secretly recorded audio of the set where Glenn has been seen working on scenes. I can't show the audio here, but if you want to check it out, you can go to the Spoiling Dead Fans on Tumblr. In the audio, there are parts where Glenn is given direction on the same film and location as shown in this photo. This indicates that Stephen isn't on the set just to hang out, he's actually working on the show. Number 2, given The Walking Dead's filming schedule, they do sequential shooting with each episode taking about 8 days, and having a 2-week break in between the first and second half of the season. The break ended around August 17th, according to the people who live in the area, and there have been photos of Steven Yeun on set in character when they were shooting the second half of the season on August 18th. This is just further evidence that Steven is still around shooting the show for multiple episodes after he supposedly died, which brings me to the final reason. Many people would say that these are flashbacks that he's shooting. Well, these future episodes are clearly not flashbacks because Glenn is seen on set working a scene with a character that is yet to be introduced yet. This character is well known from the comics and will not be introduced until after this current story arc, which is both consistent with the comics and the film explorers that hardcore fans have been able to find out. So in conclusion, having just watched the episode without having outside knowledge, it appears as though Glenn is dead. However, when you look at more information, it is very clear that Glenn will survive somehow. Given the way they've talked about it on The Talking Dead, they want people to believe that he's dead, yet they want to leave the possibility out there that he could be alive. It would make little marketing sense to be so ambiguous if there is not going to be some payoff. Seeing he has been seen shooting scenes long after this, I find it very obvious that Glenn is not dead. Anyways, guys, that is my video. If you liked it, share it everywhere, comment, rate, and subscribe. I know it was a little bit different than the videos I've done in the past, like my Nita the Sarkeesian puppet videos, which, by the way, you can get by clicking on this annotation right over here. Yep, right there. But I like to keep things fresh, and when something is on my mind, I like to make a video about it. Lots of people have been talking about this, so I figured I'd put my opinion out there on it. I'll be back with another video soon, more like my other ones, so keep an eye out for that.